Who's at risk? Everyone's at risk. I'm at risk. I could be exploited. Anybody we all have Facebook? Okay. Y'all have Messenger on Facebook? You don't have that? Good for you. I can't tell you how many times I get this thing pop up on my Messenger. It's a friend request. They have one friend in common with me, and they're sending me a message and it always starts to say, hey, and it's a picture of a young woman up there. I'm just I don't know who you are. But I know guys, they'll go, hey, right? It's harmless. I know young women, I know adult women that'll go, hey, and those conversations start to progress. Hey, you look good. I like your dress. I like your car. I like your page. I like this. I like that. That's all creating intrigue. So anyone can be a victim. But what we find very commonly with victims is it starts out with things like running away, history of family violence. If there's not a drug problem initially, there will be if they're in trafficking because there's something called the leash. Heroin to go down, methamphetamines to go up. Methamphetamines increase the libido, making them able to stay up for days in order to sell them. Heroin to bring them down. It's called the leash. Highly addictive. Traffickers will get them on the leash as quickly as possible. Previous sexual assault. We find in many situations where we talk to victims, we refer to them as survivors, that they'll talk about incidents where they were sexually assaulted, either from molestation or sexual abuse prior to the age of 13 and it was non-consensual. So they've already had established into their psyche that their value is not in who they are, but their value is in what they can do. Homelessness, economically disadvantaged, and a mistrust of law enforcement. Why do you think they have a mistrust of law enforcement? Negative experiences. You know, won't. So I want you to. Anyone want a ball? There we go. So if they've got these types of experiences in early childhood, do you think DFPS was involved with them? CPS came to their door ever? So maybe their first experience with authority figures is when CPS came to the door with the police. And then they had to go stay at grandma's house. And they started that night they woke up that morning in their own bed and they were sleeping in a strange bed the next day. If that happens repeatedly, do you think you're going to trust authority figures? So unfortunately, they have these mistrusts. Foster youth in particular. Now I want you to think about the fact that let's say this child's been removed. Foster youth in particular. They feel like nobody loves them, nobody cares about them. They feel like if mom and dad really loved them, they wouldn't be living this. Or what did they do wrong that mom and dad don't want them anymore? Whether a child is told that or not, children will then blame themselves. Children who are sexually abused, oftentimes during the sexual abuse, they did have biological reactions. So certain things felt good, but they know it also felt bad. And then everyone's telling them it's supposed to be dirty and ugly and feel bad, but there were times it felt good, and there were maybe even times they wanted some of those good feelings. So no one's acknowledging that. So they think, what's wrong with me? I'm broken. And then I get removed, and I'm in CPS custody because of sexual abuse, so maybe something's broken with me. I'm broken inside, right? And it's very easy for this child who's starved for attention to be online and someone to say, you're beautiful. If you were my guy, I'd hook you up. I'd take care of you. I would never believe you or abandon you. I wouldn't let you stay in that place. All you got to do is run away. Naturally, 2.8 million runaways, homeless youth in the United States. Runaways and throwaways make up the overwhelming majority of what we see with this particular problem here in Bexar County. So a throwaway child is what we usually see. Most of them are LGBTQ kids, and they were thrown out of their house because their family doesn't believe in that, and their family said, if you're going to be that way, then there's the door. So I've had kids, young adults, 15 years old, 19 years old, 13 years old, tell me I'm homeless because I'm gay. And in many times, they have experienced previous sexual abuse, and they think that makes them gay, and they did have biological reactions, and they're still very confused, but they think if this happened to me and I had some feel-good feelings, I must be gay. Guess what? They may or may not be. This is being forced down their throat. What kills me most about these situations is that this child doesn't even have an opportunity to grow and flourish. They already feel like they're locked into an identity to decide what they really are. I want them to decide what they really are. I want them to have that opportunity to grow. So there's so much of them, not just sexually, but physically, mentally, and emotionally, it's broken. And how do they get these youth? Well, they groom them. They use something called fractionization seduction. That's a Freudian term, where they're trying to separate out bits and pieces of their subconscious and personality and recreate their own the personality that they want them to have in that individual. And this is all part of the grooming process. This starts with something one of the ways is called bunny hunting. Bunny hunting is hunting for a child online. So the way that would kind of work is something along the lines of that child, any child, online, this person's in chat rooms, this person's pretending to be another young adult. So if I was going to target, let's say I'm going to target a child in this area, right? So it would be real simple for me. I would go out there and I'd get on Facebook or, well, now Instagram. I get on Instagram and I would find a profile, maybe some kid that's a sports player up there at Warren High School over in Westover Hills. And I would get out there and I'd get all his pictures and I would start communicating with a child in this area. I don't want them to be someone that goes to Clark because Clark's close to here. I don't want them to actually say, I don't know, you know. I want them to kind of be in a distance. So I'm going to start talking to them if I'm the bad guy. And eventually, I'm going to tell them how much I care for them and how strong our relationship is. I'm going to share things with them that I supposedly never share with anybody else. And as I build trust, I'm maybe going to get that picture sent over. You know, that picture? And as soon as I get that picture, I'm going to come back with, I want more. Oh, you don't want to send me more? Y'all ever heard of metadata?
Isn't that where the footprints for your data that's online, so they can have access to it?
Right. Metadata. Keep it or share it. Metadata will tell me exactly where you're at, latitude and longitude. It'll tell me the IP address of the device. It'll tell me who's the owner of that device, and then I can use that IP address to get a location as well as the latitude, longitude. I can pull up Google Earth, and I can get that address. Once I get that address, I go to the Bexar County Tax Assessor's office. I plug that address in. It'll give me a blueprint of the interior of the household, the registered owner of the household, what the median income of the household is, and that's all for free, and it's not redacted. So I'll be able to tell the child who their parents is and where their room is most likely located because it's not in the master. Not only that, but I'm going to get on there to Intelist or any one of these other one of these other services where I pay $15. I'm going to get a credit report on that household member, where those people work, who the registered occupants of that house is, and all kinds of information. And I'm going to start sharing it. And I'm going to say, listen, you want me to give this to your mom? This picture you sent, your dad? They're going to take your phone away. You're never going to get to communicate with anybody. I'm going to share this with all your friends over there at Clark High School. They're going to see what kind of person you are. I want more. Now I want videos of you doing things to yourself. Now we're going to meet up to engage in sexual services. And guess what? I don't even have to be the person to meet with them. They think they're meeting with me, but they're actually meeting with the person that bought the first time with them that I sold online, where I advertised them using the pictures and videos that they made. I don't even have to leave my house to traffic this child. Trolling, these individuals are usually employed by traffickers. They're usually someone that has multiple identities. They have multiple sock puppets. Sock puppets is your fake online personalities. And they use that looking through all those places where kids hang out. Where they like to hang out these days, trolls, Fortnite, Minecraft, online gaming. Call of Duty. Knockers introduce friend to friend, and this is usually someone who's already been victimized, a survivor, another teen who's being told, you want this to stop, then bring me your friends. It's either going to be you or your friends. Who is it? So these are ways that they recruit. Now notice the trafficker actually doesn't do anything. The trafficker just has the dates set up. But somebody else, they're getting other people to recruit for them. And if I get someone else to recruit for me and then you get caught, who are you going to blame? The person who recruited you. And I just, as the bad guy trafficker, I just move on to the next set of victims.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So it was Minecraft, and what were the other video games?
Any video game where there's communication between players. So online recruiting, easy access, low risk of detection, very easy to access and detect, right? You spend hours building rapport with someone, hours. For those of you that are counselors, think about it. Unlimited access any time of the day, night, or week. Matter of fact, as the bad guys, they can access the child while the child's still at the dinner table. If the child has a cell phone, there's access. They can access the child while the parents are in the car with the child. Right? Online gaming, focused on popular games for communication between players. That's any one of these games. Perpetrators can be any age, they can be any gender, and they can pretend to be any age or any gender. And they have plenty of time to manipulate them. That's why I personally recommend that anyone under the age of 14 doesn't have a cell phone. I also personally recommend that anyone under the age of 15 doesn't have access to social media. And even then, I recommend that parents use lots and lots of resources to screen what their children are doing. And they also sit down and talk to their kids over and over again. And not only that, they go through training with their kids. They can do online training with videos, with games, to talk about online safety and etiquette. Because we've already taught our kids, don't go with the man with the puppy in the van with the candy. Right? We need to teach them, don't go talk to the guy online in Fortnite that has all the special weapons because you think it's somebody you know. Because he still can be in a van with the candy, but it's just digitized. Sexting, sending nude pictures back and forth, right? The thing about sexting is once those things have been sent, there's no way to pull them back. They're out there forever. They're going to be reused over and over and over and over again. There's lots of trafficking ads where they'll use pictures that somebody sent over sexting, and it's a bait and switch type thing. Oh yeah, this is the girl you're going to get, and then another girl shows up. All right, these pictures never disappear, and there's no reasonable expectation of privacy. Matter of fact, kids think they have the right to privacy online. No one has a reasonable expectation of privacy online. Supreme Court's already made those decisions. If you put it out there, it's like you putting something in your trash can. Once you put it out there, it belongs to the world. You don't have a right to privacy to what's in your trash can. You don't have a right to privacy once you send that stuff out there. And neither do kids. So it's happening day in and day out. I get you to send the picture. I get the metadata off that picture. I extort you to get me more. And I eventually extort you to exploit you. So what you should do, I get a lot of parents ask me, well, first thing, take a breath. Breathe. Everyone breathe. Big chest breaths. So I'm driving you right now into your lizard brain, and I need you to get back up to the wizard brain. I need you to get your learning brain, because I got started to go a little bit into the survivor brain. I need you to get to your learning brain now, because this is scary stuff. And I need parents to come, when they get to that point, avoid doing anything rash, because what they want to do, they want to delete every account. They want to rip that phone out of that kid's hand. They want to delete every picture. They want to go in there and expunge the whole thing and pretend it didn't happen. They want to make it to erase the entire thing. You do that, you're literally leaving those pictures out there for your kiddo to be further exploited. Not only that, you do that, you're leaving that bad guy out there to further exploit somebody else. And you're alienating your child. You're punishing your child for being a victim. Let me put it this way. So what kind of car do you drive? Altima. Okay. You have your keys and your wallet on you? You have your cell phone on you? Okay. So if I was to knock him down, take his keys, his wallet, and his cell phone, drive off in his Altima, would I have just committed a crime? Okay. So you're going to call the police, yes, sir? Okay. Police are going to come arrest him, put him in jail, keep him safe from me until they come find me, the bad man. I've stolen his identity. I've stolen his ability to communicate. I've stolen his transportation. Who's the victim here? But he's in jail. On the flip side, a parent, you take that phone away, you take those online identities away because their identities online are just as real as if they're face-to-face, and then you ground them because you want to keep them safe. Who's the victim?